into it. We are back. Midseason review for the boys. Whit, Whoo Fantasy League. Still the name. Not for long. But yeah, so we're gonna split some hot takes. How do we want to do this? Everyone have some agenda items.
Yeah, I feel like we should get some just thoughts going to start off.
All right. How about thoughts on your own team? How about, how you guys feeling? Both middle of the pack, I'd say.
Yeah. Before I begin, I feel like it's appropriate to put like a disclaimer on the screen. The events that are about to occur may be slightly dramatized. I love you all. If I take a shot at you, it's not personal. All right. It's all love and fun and games. And like, let's get the content going. Come on.
I like that.
Johann, we've already heard from you, but you're gonna be a little spicier this time. You were very
I'm bringing some spice.
easy
Yeah,
last time.
I'm bringing some spice. I have an agenda. I don't have any intro, but I have an agenda. I have some items that I want to get to. One of those items will be traumatizing for you, Morris, but we have to go through it. So
That's fine.
that's what we're here for.
I'm not safe.
And all right, great. Yeah. Well, let's just do it.
I deserve trauma because my partner, God bless him, can't be here. He's dealing with some trauma, literally in the trauma unit. So
True.
That's what he does.
I deserve to be traumatized as well. It's only fair.
It's fair. All right. Who would like to go first?
I'll take the team first, Fisch. My team is not great.
Really?
It has. So this is what I've realized about fantasy. Like, you can have the best team, that doesn't really matter. Like, we had the most points for last year, it didn't matter. Like, we lost in the playoffs. Like, the goal of fantasy is to make it to the playoffs and then get hot in the playoffs. So I think my team is capable of that. But do I feel like I felt way better about my team the last 2 years? I mean, our lineup this week is tough. We just don't have any depth. All of the players other than AJ Brown and Jalen Hurts are not great.
I mean, it's AJ Brown, Jalen Hurts, and fucking David Montgomery who's not there.
David Montgomery, and then like hopefully Bijan will start to. I'm optimistic about Bijan.
I mean, you're starting Royce Freeman, Christian Watson's pretty ass.
The only positive thing I can say is you have like a classic Wolfson team that like has a couple of good guys who like score a shit ton every week. The rest are just kind of stinky, but with the right situation, like you could get lucky.
Yeah, 100%. And like we're 5-3, so like we could make the playoffs. Like, we have a good shot of making the playoffs. Essentially, we need to make it the next 2 weeks. We need to go 1-1 the next 2 weeks, and then we get Monty back, and we're through the Eagles bye, and then I think we have a good shot to make the playoffs. That's my analysis.
Morris, how are we feeling?
I think I'm in a similar boat, although looking at my team as I look at it, I still like it could still go either way for me. Like, I have guys who can perform. I just knew coming out of the draft. Let me back it up a little bit. I'll try and be brief. I can go off on tangents, so just cut me off if I'm speaking too much. I crushed the snake drafts. I actually prepared for them. It was easier to prepare for them. Like, I will hand up for every auction draft. I've done zero prep. I've been very vocal about that. Like, there is no predicting how these drafts are going to go. Like, I don't make these spreadsheets like Wolfson. I don't fucking like have budgets for like, I have guys I want and I feel it out. So like, I've paid the price for that the past couple of years, 100%. But I did feel decent about my team coming out of the draft. The issue is like, they're all old. And like, because they're old, I have these random guys who like will go off 1 week, like DeAndre Hopkins or Lockett or Amari, and then they'll do absolutely nothing the next week. It's like they're not in their prime. They're not in the ideal situations to consistently perform. So I will say I did want Tyreek. That's worked out. So that's kind of my saving grace at this point. Yeah, I mean, I just need to get in the playoffs and anything can happen. We'll see.
I think your team is like our team. You just have like your other pieces sometimes go off and my other pieces never go off. That's like the difference.
Yeah. Like, I feel better about my tier C guys than your tier C guys. Like at least mine have like the potential to go off.
I think he has like tier B, and then you have like some B plus. Like I don't know, like Swift is pretty nice. Mixon is like good hypothetically. Kincaid, who Johnny dropped, that is ridiculous, but whatever. He's good. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah,
Stacks. You love the stacks.
Yeah, I mean it's honestly like my team isn't worth talking about for that long. It's like there's really nothing. Like I have Tyreek and then like a lot of decent guys. I'm not overly impressed with my team nor happy about how it's turned out, but I'm in it.
Listen, I feel the same way. I mean, I don't know. My team, I felt really good about it, and then for some reason, I looked at it this week like Christian Kirk randomly has a bye, and I'm like, why am I like desperate now? Like my team kind of sucks, and I'm looking at it, and I hate it more and more every time I look at it.
Yeah,
And
you got Dotson and Scary Terry in there. That's tough.
yeah, it's like fucking. And I was like about to get Sam Howell, and then fucking.
Oh,
Sam
you're
Howell for
starting Baker?
$15. What? Yeah, I got Baker.
Oh
You got
god,
Foreman in
you
there.
gotta
Oh,
figure
yeah.
out your QB situation, Fish.
Yeah, Fish. It's what's happening.
Fish, you should have traded. This was going to come out later, but it has to come out now. That trade was one of the worst trades.
All right, fine. That's on my agenda, obviously.
Okay, good. Good. Do you have any like just why are you defending it?
I'm defending it because listen, Miles Sanders this week was coming off an injury. I don't think it was indicative of what's going to happen the rest of the season. Also, if anyone fucking paid attention to the game, Chuba Hubbard was ass when he got all the carries. So we can shut the fuck up about he got his job taken. The other guy clearly sucks dick as well. Let's be real. Listen, I wanted a starting running back on an NFL team who has somewhat of talent. He does have that. That is a fact. Is he kind of shitty? Yes. Could the Panthers get better? Also, yes. Dude, I was just a shot. Like, I just needed to take a shot on somebody. I don't, like, again, I could not get shit for LaPorta. It just is what it is. Like, no one was giving me shit. I tried to upgrade receivers. No one would give me shit. Tried to upgrade running backs. No one would give me shit. But then I trade him away, and everyone's like, oh, he's fucking worth all this shit. And it's like, no, he is not. Like, not to any of you. You're all lying. He didn't move the needle for fucking any of you. So don't fucking give me this shit that like, oh, I traded him for like a running back 3, and that's like the worst thing I could do. Like, fucking give me a break. He's sitting on my bench. He's never going to fucking play, obviously. Like,
neither is Miles Sanders.
So Fish,
two things can be true, Fish.
He could. I don't know. Maybe the Panthers get good.
Two things can be true.
What?
Nobody was going to trade you, was going to make a trade with you, which is put a pin in that because that is definitely one of my talking points. And 2, also true, you were too eager to make a trade. You were like, you showed your cards. Nobody wanted to make a fair deal with you. You could have held on to him. Someone would have gotten desperate. Like Baker and Feldman had the bye this week. They needed a tight end. Like maybe they weren't going to give you like crazy good return for LaPorta, but they at least gave me like better than what you got for fucking Dalton Schultz. Like
you fucking did a trade with them. That's why you're saying this.
I understand. Later in the year, more people panic, people get more desperate. You didn't need to make that trade at the time.
Yeah.
This is what I'll say, Fish. And I want to be objective about this trade. And I objectively think your JJ trade was a great trade. And it, didn't work out. But like that was a great trade. Like
I mean, it couldn't have worked out yet.
You can't bake on injuries, whatnot.
Yeah.
But like LaPorta, objectively, like who cares what like the 3 people you talked to that wouldn't like trade anything and were being stubborn. I'm sure you could have got a lot for LaPorta if you wanted to. And also, he's still a good flex play on your team. Like you can still play him. Like he's not he's that good.
I don't really think so. I just like never gonna fit him in like on buys, maybe. Like this week, maybe. But like
would you rather play Sanders or LaPorta at the flex?
I mean LaPorta right now, but like
Miles Sanders that's the other thing. Miles Sanders is awful.
The rest of the season, I think I'd rather have Miles Sanders on my team. I'm not going to flex LaPorta on a weekly basis, if at all. And if Miles Sanders
on the bench doesn't hurt,
becomes good, Chuba Hubbard gets hurt, fucking the Panthers actually decide to score because Bryce Young gets better. Who knows? I don't
Fish,
know. Crazier things have
all right,
happened than Miles Sanders
if
being
you
good.
don't end up dropping him, I will be impressed, honestly. And
Miles
the last thing I'll
I'm
say
not
about
doing
it,
it now.
I honestly like, I don't know if I'm happy, sad, annoyed, angry, whatever the emotion is, but the TMZ Yinkers stinkers, you saved their season in terms of like something positive to talk about. Because my guy Elrad has been on top of the moon about this trade. Like, and even though they're probably avoided the Mayo at this point, knock on wood, we'll see. They're also probably not making the playoffs. But the smile on that man's face when LaPorta on the first drive of the game, on the first play of the game, outscored Miles Sanders. You know what? You did something positive for someone, Fish. So
Whatever. I'm happy he found a good home. He's gonna play every week. I get to see my boy go out there, and they gave me a shot. And then they get fucking Daryl Henderson, who's better than him anyway. So I'll go fuck myself.
yeah, and I would have beat you, Pete, if I just picked up Henderson instead of Miles.
All right, so yeah, that was one of my
was
topics. I do want to revisit last Sunday and walk you through the events that went down. Because that was one of the craziest fantasy matchups I think we've had. And it's pretty fun to recap. But so I do want to start. I'll start at the beginning of the day. I don't think we had that much chatter, Morris, but it started off.
Bedro texted me.
Bedro texted you. It started off and Bedro texted me at like 10:10. Or no, I think my brother texted me at 10:10. Like Bijan like didn't get a snap in the first drive. Like, what the fuck's happening? I'm like going to brunch with my cousin. I like call my brother. He's like distraught because he has Bijan on all his fantasy teams. The first fucking 5 hours of the day were just miserable. Like Bijan dud, like literally nothing. He's sick. Morris's fucking kicker, every time I check my phone at brunch, he's kicked another 50-yard field goal. He had fucking 22 points. Literally our team had 25 points at like 3:00 in the afternoon, like 6 Eastern. So like halfway through the second round of games, our team had 25 points. We like claw our way back with like a couple lucky touchdowns to get within fighting distance. But like, oh, and also, so we claw our way back and like, then fucking the Rams lose on just a horrendous game. And Morris is just like, could not be more distraught over it. He's like in the group chat, just attacking Johnny for like something that Johnny's not even like coming at him for.
Dude, Johnny's like, oh, McCole Hardman, like he's so sick. He got a fucking punt return. How many points did he finish
The
with?
Johnny McCole Hardman thing is one of the funniest things also, and one of the dumbest things ever.
He loves it.
But that was hilarious. Like, but Morris, I'm sure like an hour later, you're like, fuck it. The Rams are going to lose anyways. They're not a good team. Like, at least I can beat Peter. At least I can beat Johann and Bedro at fantasy. Like, you're looking good. You have all 4 of your best players playing Sunday night. Like, first drive of Sunday night, Tyreek gets like 4 catches. First Eagles drive, Goddard gets a touchdown. Like, I think we had probably like a 3% chance of winning. And then the second half happened. And then what's so funny too is like AJ starts going off in the second half. Like we haven't even talked about it yet, but I want to hear your side. I mean, that must have not been fun. But then Morris had a chance to win it at the very end of the game. DeAndre Swift had a wide open lane. He could have ran into the end zone to like ice the game, and they like clipped him at the 3-yard line, and then they kneeled it out after that. So yeah.
Yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, like I can bitch about it, but the whole Bijan thing was pretty fucked. And I'm looking at the box score right now. We both have great running backs on IR, so cancel that out. I had Mixon on a bye. I had Hopkins on a bye. So I had to start fucking Wan'Dale Robinson and Justice Hill. Like, I didn't expect much. And I mean, Justice, Amari, and Wan'Dale, those 3 guys combined for less than 10 points. So like, despite your 0 from Bijan or 0.3, because for whatever reason he got a carry at the end of the game, like I did not expect to win. And then Sunday night, I thought I was chilling. Yeah, I thought I was.
Yeah, no, you didn't expect to win, but it's one thing because literally midway through the third quarter, we had a 1% chance of winning. Obviously, ESPN like is dumb at the end of the week, but like it was over. So also, I forgot to mention Beedro literally stopped watching at halftime. After Tyreek caught the touchdown, Beedro was like, I'm fucking done. Like, I'm not watching this. Like, I'm like not gonna follow along this game. Like, I'm fucking pissed. I'm done. And so he did not follow the entire game. And then I wasn't even gonna text him because I didn't want to like ruin the juju of the second half. And I call him after we won. And he like literally like didn't believe me for like 3 minutes.
Yeah. I
But
mean,
it
that's-
hurts. Like you had that tough. Like that was one of I honestly think that was the craziest like comeback that we've had.
Dude, AJ Brown
like-
catching that 40-yard bomb was so unnecessary in the game too. Like they had no business going deep there, and he fucking comes down with it. I'm like, no way, they're about to just sneak this from him. It was so brutal.
So great. So great.
it was, all things considered, I handled it pretty well.
That's good.
It just
That Rams, the two
I was
the
more pissed
Rams
about the
and-
Rams.
You were more pissed about the
I was
Rams?
more pissed about the
Yeah,
Rams.
but the combination was probably not great.
It was brutal, but like a day in the life, you know what I mean? And like it also, like I would have won also if I just picked up fucking Daryl, who I like went to go pick up Daryl, and I think Elrad and Johnny had done it like a minute before. And if I had started him instead of Justice or Wandell, like easy done.
Oh yeah. Also, Wandell Robinson over 35 yards was your miss-a-lock of the day.
Yeah, it cast a week before. I love me some Wandell. Rob, I love me some Wandell.
Rob,
You're watching, Rob.
Odell, baby, next week. Next week's the
Odell's, yeah, that was Rob was just following my lead with his missile play this week. 0 catches for Odell.
God damn it.
All right, should I introduce the next topic now?
Yeah, go for it.
I want the three of us to all power rank the most annoying teams to trade with in our league, because whether it's the extra flex, the lack of depth, people just fucking scared, like risk averse, at Rob, at Klein, like I am so fucking fed up with some of these teams out there that are so frustrating to deal with. I mean, there's been one in particular that I've just been harassing lately, like nonstop harassing. So we'll get into that. But yeah, I want to hear the power rankings from like, would you want to do most annoying to least annoying, or least annoying to most annoying?
I mean, I'm not going to power rank all 12, but I'll give you like a top 3 and a bottom 3.
Give me like a top 3 and a bottom 3. That works.
All right.
I'll go last.
I got to really look at it.
And annoying, like not like annoying, just in every sense of the word. Overvaluing their players, not responding.
I got 2 out of my top 3, and they're for different reasons. One is just Wolfson, because I feel like I'm gonna get fucking railroaded whatever I do. I feel like somehow he has this magic about him where it's like he's gonna do this trade with me, and my player's gonna end up doing better than whatever the fuck he gives me. That's just like a mental thing, but that's a reason to hate it. The actual real answer is sadly Reed, because Reed literally gives not realistic offers whatsoever. Like it's not even like a conversation. Like I actually think it's a joke, and like Reed, the bit is great. Don't get me wrong, I laugh every time, but like they're not real. It's not real. Like, no, we're not. I don't know. I feel like you're a little out there, and your team is 0-8. Like that's tough. And then I mean Johnny, just because he hates me, but and then I do a trade with him and everyone says it sucks. So those are my top 3 most annoying, I guess.
I have not been on the trading block as much this year. My 2 experience, I will echo, like I do remember like Reed at times being kind of hard to trade with. We made a trade with Rob this year. Like Rob can get annoying because he tries to like big dick you. But you just got to know that he's trying to big dick you, and then you just got to stand your ground, and he'll give in eventually. Yeah, that's all I have. I will say football sports team is the most pleasant.
I have a feeling that Noah is about to say the football sports team is the least pleasant, but
No. I got nothing but love for football sports team. Although I do have to talk to Baker, because every time I talk to Feldman, he thinks I'm trying to big dick him. So I need Baker to be my
equal,
middleman.
Feldman translator.
Exactly. So, I mean, Reed is like, I think most people in the league can agree is the obvious number one because it's never a real conversation. Like he'll text me like, "Hey man, like trying to trade," and I'm just like, "No, not with you." But I'm like, "Let's hear your offer," and he'll put out some bullshit, and I'm like, "I'm not gonna fucking do this with you, man. Like, it's not even worth it." So obviously, Reed's number one, but bang my line, Reed, if you're trying to formulate a new relationship in our trade talk. I would say I'd bucket Klein and Rob into the same category. They're both annoying. I was shocked to see Rob make a trade. I feel like that is maybe a first this year. And it was a minor trade, but even
It
so,
happened 2 minutes before the game too.
I
There
was
was a
shocked.
deadline that forcing him to do it.
Rob is just like he's so risk averse. Him and Klein, they're like I think I'm gonna just roll the dice with this guy. I actually would love to know the answer to this question. Has Klein ever made a trade in the history of our league?
Dude,
Because I think the answer is no.
so the thing about Klein is I mean, obviously he fucking complains to me all the time, like
Nonstop.
whatever. So it's like if you try to make a trade with him, he's like, I can't, like, my team is gonna suck without the player I give you. It's like, bro, it's a trade. I'm giving you another good player. Like, you're acting like you're gonna be dead without it. It's like, bro, that's the fucking point, is that it's mutually beneficial. Like, I'm not trying to fuck you. We're friends. Like, I'm trying to make a deal here, but like he's just like, oh, like, and then he just talks about how shitty his players are, or like, I don't know.
I'll put my hand up right
about all
now.
of the theories.
Yeah.
I have a group chat with Fisch and Klein, and it's all we do is just bitching it about how unlucky we are and how fucking unfortunate our fantasy luck is. I'll admit it. Everyone can know. But Klein bitches more than me and Fisch. I can assure you of that.
It's more of
That's what we should do a power rankings on that. And Klein and Morris are like in a tier on their own at the top.
I would say that there's a wild card in there, but maybe we can save that for
Whoo.
another day.
I want to hear the wild card.
I just get a lot of LRAD content, and you know what? The man's unlucky, so I don't want to throw him under the bus. But
Yeah, Elrad's up there.
so I won't put him in the top, but because he's passionate.
See, that's why
I need
that's
to
why I
allow
love
it.
giving him a nice Sam LaPorta, you know, fucking brighten his spirits. Got a Sam LaPorta touchdown. He gets to celebrate the Lions with fucking Rachel. Like, have fun, buddy. You do you.
Yeah, no, Elrad's an ally. Nothing but love for Elrad. Okay, my last to round out my bottom three. There's a lot of teams I haven't actually. Wolfson will never make a deal because my analysis of Wolfson is he'll never make a trade with anyone who he considers a threat to him, which is why like he may talk with football sports team, he doesn't respect them. You know, he may talk with TMZ, he doesn't respect them. But Wolfson you'll never see him make a trade with me or Klein or like even you on Fisch. He may make a trade with you. I don't think he respects you. But yeah, Wolfson and I it'll never happen. But man, I love these boys to death. I love them. They are allies, especially with what's going on in the world right now. But my beautiful Jews, oh my fucking God. It is like,
Oh, I have a story about
like,
the beautiful.
nothing
I'll probably
could be harder than making a trade with the beautiful Jews who so desperately need it, who hear the fairest of offers from me, which, listen, they have every right to reject it, but don't make me text you fucking 10 times, 10 days in a row before you respond. Ollie, I know you're interviewing, brother. I hope you fucking crush it, but respond to my goddamn text and say yes or no. It's that simple. Like, I'm going fucking crazy. I do love talking to you guys, though. So, yeah. I mean, just given the recent conversations we've had, I'm putting you in the bottom three. But
Well, the problem with them is that they don't even talk to each other about it. So they're not on the same page. So then how are you going to trade with them if like you get one thing from one person, one thing from the other person? Literally last year, we were this was like week 5, and we had a trade on the table. We were talking with them. They wanted to trade us Jamar Chase because they were trying to ship Jamar Chase for literally anything. We're like, no, we don't want Jamar Chase. We want Devontae Adams. And we had we got a deal. I think it was like Mike Will and Ramondre for Devontae Adams. And Bedro and I are like, holy shit, like this is legit. Kaplan proposes the trade. And so all we have to do, we're like, whoa, like I was like ready to click like accept. And then BJ's like, well, let's talk about this. Like, let's analyze it. I don't know. We talk about it for 10 minutes and we come back and fucking Ollie had taken back the trade like a minute later because he had like thought about it more. And Kaplan had proposed it. I was like, literally, I've never been so like distraught about anything in fantasy than like not having accepted that trade.
Dude, I offered them, I don't remember the details because I'm not like fucking psycho about my teams, but I offered them like an unreal deal last year, I think for Jamar also, earlier in the year, to which they declined because they wanted to see how it played out, to see if their luck would turn around, which it didn't. And then they make that fucking trade with Johnny and Elrad. Like suddenly Johnny and Elrad, the kings of like trade rape. It's unbelievable. So Jews, if you're watching, which I doubt you are because you don't even respond to my texts, don't wait before it's too late. Take action. It's never too early to change your team up. Hear me out. I'm not trying to rip you off. It's all love.
Don't let Reed get hot. They could end up at the bottom soon. I mean,
Reed's team isn't terrible. Like Jameer Gibbs coming on. Don't wait, Jews.
dude, he's mathematically eliminated from the playoffs. That was so sad.
Oh, he is?
Dude, he has the little E next to his name. It's so fucking sad.
I don't think he's mathematically eliminated, actually.
No, it literally says eliminated from playoff contention. E. He is. 0-8, 6-8. I mean, I guess mathematically.
I forgot. I thought you could go 8-8. Yeah, you're right. You're right.
No.
I have another agenda. Morris, do you have another agenda item?
I have one, but it can be more like casual. So hit it.
Okay. Mine is kind of like for the end, but I get you do yours first, Morris.
Well, Fish, do you have one?
Fish, do you have one?
Mine's very loose. Just a team that I think might actually suck and a team that I think is actually pretty good. I'll just say TMZ. Pretty good. Honestly, the way they picked themselves up, they looked so much worse a couple weeks ago. And I feel like Palmer and Henderson, like Addison's good now, and Lamb is good now, and Breece Hall's back. I feel like they actually are pretty good, and I'm kind of scared to face them this week because I think I'm going to fucking lose. Even though weeks ago, when I did the Justin Jefferson trade, I chalked it up as a win. I was like, all right, I'll get through this stretch of him being out because I'll beat TMZ, and then I'll be chilling. And then I beat fucking Wolfson, and I was like, all right, now I'm really chilling. And then now they're fucking good when I get to them. That's annoying as shit. And then, I don't know, football
They'll
sports.
put up a dud. Don't worry, Fish.
Football sports team, I want to say some of their players are a little fraudulent, but if they trade for CMC, then I might be fucked. So we all might be fucked, honestly. So let's hope that doesn't happen.
Yeah, that shouldn't.
Yeah. Wolfson, don't do it. You love your boy. That's it. So yeah, what else you got?
Johan, you want to go?
Yeah, so I mean, I'll do my agenda item because it kind of goes hand in hand. But I power rank like 1 through 12. So I try to be objective. It's a combination of record, points for, and how good your team is. So number one, so I actually have 3 tiers. The first tier is football sports team, Poutine, and Klein in that order. I want to go back to what I said like last time. Like,
so the top 3 in the standings, real groundbreaking stuff.
Yeah, so that's not that shocking. The top, I mean, yeah,
no,
it's gonna be like expected. It's supposed to be expected.
Yeah. Good for Klein.
But so my 2 like takes
Klein. All right, none. Stop.
Yeah, he's gotta stop. I think he's stopped.
Okay.
My 2 takes last time were Poutine is just gonna continue to do well because they're Poutine, and Reed was gonna have a shot at the playoffs. I couldn't have been more wrong about Reed. I feel like I jinxed him, so I apologize, Reed. But Poutine, I could not have been more right about. Fucking Gus Edwards, like, are you kidding? Like, they get every one of those players, every single one of those players that just randomly has 3 touchdowns or randomly has 12 catches, just ends up on their team. Like, and they score 150 every single. They're gonna get a bye this. Like, that is a lock. They're gonna get a bye this year, and then they'll probably lose in the playoffs. But they're the luckiest fantasy team. Then the tier 2, I have 3 tiers. Tier 2 in this order. So the first tier is teams that have a good chance at a bye. The next tier is teams that are like still in the mix. Wolfson, Jews, Fish, us, Rob, and Harold and Kumar in that order.
I'll take that for myself.
And then to round it out, and I'm not going to put an order to the last three, but you guys know what the last three are.
Probably in the order that they're in. Probably. I'd say
Probably.
that's fair. I mean, plus or minus a
Honestly,
couple.
I'm trying to like look and see if there's any like hot takes that I have. And I don't know if I have any. I mean, I think the standings are like pretty indicative of where each team is at. I mean,
I think Rob is higher than he should be. I think Harold and Kumar is not great.
I think Harold and Kumar are in trouble if it doesn't look like Stafford is going to be seriously hurt though, which is good for them. But
No one on their team like wows me though. Like you look at that team and
Yeah.
you're like, all right, I don't know, James Cook, Ramondre, both kind of ass. Like Mahomes is obviously good, but yeah, Stafford's hurt, Cup is nothing. And like, I mean, look at their team. Like, who the fuck? Like Debo, I guess. But like, I don't know. Like, none of those guys impressed me at all. Not that they couldn't
yeah,
have,
I just
but I don't know.
you never know. I feel like there's so many teams that are just similar. Like football sports team is a wagon right now. So my boys, so proud of them.
It really did pick a
But
good team.
I'll be salty if they win for sure. But I'm rooting for them. You know what? I will say, hot take, not winning has really kept me motivated to a degree. You know, if I had won once, I would just be fucking every year. I might suck, and I'm like, you know what?
That's
Kiss the ring. It's like the Rams mentality right now. Kiss the fucking ring. I don't give a fuck if we suck, but maybe it's a good thing. Keeps me interested. And my window may have closed as well, but we'll see. There's always new windows.
I think there's a world where this team that you have could win. I think there is a world.
I think there is.
Any of the
but
top 9 teams could win. That's how fantasy works.
I think that's fair.
Wilson, nah.
Wilson could easily win.
Nah.
He has Christian McCaffrey and Lamar.
He should have traded Nico a while ago.
He could,
Anyways,
depending. I don't know. He has to get a few bounces his way, but
I have an interesting observation that I wanted to call out as my last point here. We have a 5-minute time left warning, which means this is what are we at the 25-minute mark? How long are these games?
longer. I
Oh,
think.
Jesus. All right, let's wrap this thing up.
Yeah.
But one thing I found interesting, I feel like waivers this year have been less impactful than ever, which makes sense due to just the nature of the way our rosters are now structured. No defenses, which means more flex guys on the bench with the extra flex. Also, like depth is decimated. So I went through and I may have missed some, but I went through and just looked at a few of the best waiver pickups on the season, and there really wasn't a lot of them. There was one that I think is like very clearly the winner, and it's haunting me because I'll tell a story to tie it back. But the best that I could find, Poutine with the best one, 15 for Thielen. And it's haunting me because the week before, Amari was hurt in like game time decision going into Monday Night Football. It was Browns Panthers. And I'm like, fuck, do I play him? Like, I had to pick someone up. So I was like, oh, I see DPJ available and I see Thielen available. So I'm like, all right, I should pick up Thielen or DPJ to have as like an emergency backup. And I obviously picked up DPJ instead of fucking Thielen. And then I made the boneheaded decision to actually start DPJ over Amari, which ended up costing me the matchup against Gohari. I literally would have won by like a point if I had started Amari instead of DPJ. So I double fucked myself. And then Thielen had like 100 yards and a touchdown that game. They bid 15 for him. The rest is history. So fuck me.
It was inevitable that they were going to get him. Inevitable.
Yep. And then the only other ones I could find, I got 34 for Kyron, like after that first week, and PYB bid 32. So that was big, but now he's hurt and I don't even know if he's going to play again. 37 for Palmer, TMZ, like not great, but one of the better ones I could find.
That's good.
And then football sports team, $6 for Rashee Rice, who's like not a bad flex option, pretty cheap. And then I got Kincaid for free also, which I'm going to put as an honorable mention. Questionable,
honestly.
Questionable waiver ads. $40 most recently for Demario Douglas, football sports team. Too early to tell, but I don't think there was a bid for more than $40 on any player so far this season. There was a $40 one for Demarcado. Oh yeah, Reed, and then dropped him a week later. So bid 40, then dropped him the next
Oh,
week.
and by the way, now he gets like 20 carries a week.
Now he's actually a good option. And
We have
then
some pretty bad ones.
Zach Evans for
Zach
26.
Evans.
That was tough. I bid
Well, the reason-
27.
You know why we bid 26 on him, Morris, is because you had Kyron Williams and you had 25 in your fab, and we were playing you that week. So
yeah,
we're like,
and then I picked up Gaskin instead of Daryl Henderson. So
that
jokes
was
on me. So yeah, it's just interesting to me that like I feel like waivers are so undervalued, and I personally I'm of the mindset I'm good with no D's moving forward in future years, but I think it's a conversation to be had whether we want to move the flex back to one or like limit the bench spots. Like
smaller bench, 2 IRs. Because like if you're getting fucked by like injuries, like you shouldn't get fucked even more by having to use your bench spots on them. Like
What was
that's
balloons, by the way.
I don't know. That was weird as fuck.
Happy birthday.
So like you could do like 5 bench and then 2 IRs, so you can still just shove the people on IR. And then there's way more players on waivers because you can only keep 5 people on your bench.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Or get rid of a flex.
Before this ends, I just have to shout out, if he still made it to the end, I have a feeling he did. Shout out Kamish for not doing too much this year, but also doing enough and doing it right. So Kamish Bedro, you have my
Rare.
approval this season. Good shit.
I agree.
And also, let's fucking make some trades, people. For the love of God.
I would love to. With anybody. Reach out.
All right, boys.
Yeah,
All
that
right.
was some
It's
takes.
fun.
That was
Good
fun.
luck to you.
I feel like we'll stir up some discourse, but it was logical discourse. We're good.
That's what we were going for.
No one should come for anybody. We're good. All right. Thank you, boys.
All right.
Peace.
Good night, fellas.
Night.